Alright, and let's go ahead and begin. Howdy, howdy, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Sharkinbear. Welcome to the channel where today we are playing some Soulstone Survivor. This is a game that I've been waiting for quite some time. If you're not familiar with these types of games, think of something of the line of Vampire Survivor. Oh, Jesus Christ, I'm kind of, Hello, TJ. You trying to help me out with this? Oh, Vampire Survivor. We're gonna go with that right now. I'm kind of blanking on the other names right now because I'm super excited and my dog is barking at me for attention for some reason. He wants to get the content started, so I think we're gonna go ahead and get started. Now, we are gonna choose from one of the characters that we weren't available to play in the prologue. It's been available to quite some time over on Steam. We have the Spellblade, the Sentinel, it looks like. I didn't know that we had a Hunter available, and the Arcane Weaver. Now, if I'm being completely honest, I'm gonna kind of be interested in this Hunter that we've got access to. We do only have access to the original weapon of choice so far, but that being said, we can figure out what we need along the way. It looks like, oh, we need 3 crystals, so we don't have access to it. We have to buy it, so we're not going to do that. We're going to do the Arcane Weaver then. I do always like doing the magical natured guys. So I'll go ahead and select him, and we're going to jump on into the fight. Let's go ahead. Oh, looks like we have access to a new level. This was not available to us in the demo either. There was just the first 3. I've cleared out the first, or in the second, and the third one. I didn't look like I haven't 100% the first map yet. So let's go ahead and jump into the Frozen Wastelands and give it a go. If you like the content, you want to see more of it, feel free to like and subscribe to the channel. It really helps me out. I hope everyone is having a fantastic day so far. And I'm definitely going to make sure that I have everything good to go, as I am streaming live over on twitch.tv/SharkinbearTV. So I hope you guys are having a great day. We are good to go. Let's go ahead and start the round. Ooh, I'm not sure if I like my reticle. I changed it because I saw that you could change the size and the color of the reticle. And I just wanted to make sure it gets, stays visible, because I don't know if you guys have seen any of this gameplay. Maybe you haven't, maybe you have. But to say that the reticle can easily get lost amongst all the damage and the numbers going out is, yeah, it's palpable. Alright, so let's go ahead and start ranking up our, or getting our levels up here so we can start leveling up a little bit. I tend not to spend my points right away. I like to rack up the points as I can. This is actually a pretty fairly good move right here that we're getting access to. Our magic missile. I don't know if this is the one that I was seeing earlier that adds fragility on the targets, which means they take more damage or somewhere along the lines. We're going to learn the stuff as we go. It doesn't look like we have much say in how it targets, because it's just kind of going willy-nilly all over the place. That's completely fine. Soon we'll have a more reliable source of damage whenever we level up, I'm assuming. You can see there at the action bar at the bottom of the thing. Hey, Rez, how's it going? Thanks for the hat compliment. I really do like this hat. It was a gift to me. This is my favorite kind of hat, and a hat that I previously wore like this I actually lost in Disney World. It was a gift from my grandfather who's passed away some years ago, so I'm very happy to have this style of hat back in my life. Something I desperately feel like I've been missing on the streams, so I appreciate it. Makes me feel better. It also hides my terrible hat hair. So it looks like we've already got 4 levels under our belt, almost 5. I usually end up spending my points that we get from this about the time the first boss shows up. So these rounds, they can pretty much go as long as they need to. The goal here is to try to kill 5 Void Lords. Those come at the different levels of monster kill. As you can see here, we need to get 400 deaths before, or 400 kills before we get the first lord to come up. I believe the last lord needs, I think it's like 2,600 kills total in order to get him to show up. The goal at the whole thing is to try to get everything completed in under 12 minutes. This is something that's recently new to me, and that's mostly because one of the things they unlocked for the game that wasn't available in the prologue gameplay demo was that you can unlock runes, and these runes are gameplay changing modifiers from my understanding. And those gameplay modifier changers, are only unlockable if you do certain things with certain classes under a certain time frame. In this case, 12 minutes. for this character. So from what I can tell, a lot of those characters, you have to complete some sort of challenges and or complete certain time frames with the characters. Seeing as how I'm just now getting into it, definitely looking to unlock some of the newer characters. So once we get done with our initial run, oh, there's our first boss. Oh man, he is coming at us pretty quick. Let's do that. Ooh, Arcane Beam. This is a new one to me. I've kind of seen it. That gives us kind of like a Kamehameha looking thing. We are going Arcane Power, so it only makes sense we use that. Critical hit chance. Let's see. The amount of time that shows up. Empower you and your allies, increasing the damage modifier by an additional 50% for 10 seconds. That sounds pretty cool. But let's go ahead and take Arcane Explosion so we have a little bit more AoE. I am a fan of anything that causes debuffs in this game, because debuffs is the name of the game. If you like debuffs, check this game out, because you're going to be stacking debuff on top of debuff on top of debuff. Honestly, I like anything that's going to do a lot of AoE and also has a low cooldown. For us, though, it looks like a lot of the stuff is actually going to have a fairly low cooldown. And I'm going to keep on increasing all that stuff. That guy's charging at me, so we got to make sure we dodge as soon as we get out of this. I'm going to go with the uncommon. Like, he is coming at me. Make sure we Kamehameha him and stack those debuffs on him. We don't have that many right away. We do have Arcane Beam, and we do have the Poison going off. So make sure that's happening. We are dealing with it fairly well, though. He seems to do mostly melee attacks, which is great for us since we're mostly ranged, you know, so we got that going for us. Currently, the amount of dodges we have is also working in our favor as well. This Arcane Beam doesn't seem to have a lot of range, though. Let's just stand here, kind of dodge them only when we have to, stay in range when we have to. We have healed crystals around us, but you have to be careful with those healed crystals because they do have the limited use. Oh, we managed to down the first lord. That nets us, ooh, several level ups we can use. Let's go make sure we're taking advantage of those. Let's go see what else we got. We got Thunderclap, Thunder Strike, Poison Bolt. Huh. We're gonna try a little bit of everything. Let's do some of the damage lethality increase. Arcane Beam. Arcane Sparks fires a total of 8 projectiles that move randomly, dealing 216 damage and applying exposed to enemies caught in their path. Increase next damage taken by 40%, lasts for 6 seconds, or until consumed. I like that. Increase your cast frequency modifier by an additional 20%. We're gonna do Merciless. And honestly, Bloodlust is sounding pretty good right now. We might replace something with that one. Empower you and your allies, increasing the movement speed modifier by an additional 20% and cast frequency modifier by an additional 40% for 10 seconds. Well, a 22-second cooldown. I'm going to replace something. Honestly, not a big fan. I think we're actually going to replace Thunderclap with that. And then we're going to go with Arcane Missile increase, and we're going to keep going. We just filled out an entire skill bar from that one boss. And now we're already feeling the effects of dealing out some beefy damage. Let's go ahead and start doing some of that. I like this little Kamehameha beam we got going on. Let's take out this spellcaster guy right here. He's going to be annoying, isn't he? Again, he's already mostly dead. In fact, he's dead by the time I get done finishing that sentence. All good things. All good things. Collect all this XP, get some more levels. We're already sitting at another 5 level ups. That is one thing that I've learned about this game. You will level up fast. We're also going to make sure that we're traveling around the map and collecting the mine resource nodes. So in the metagame for this one, the progression, what you're looking to really do is collect any of the mining nodes. So that way you can go to the blacksmith and buy alternate weapons for each of the characters, as well as crafting, I assume, different gear pieces and whatnot. There's also a skill tree that you can use to increase the general stats of every character you play. Let's see what we get. As soon as we hit our 10th skill point level up, or 10th level up here, I'm going to go ahead and jump into the skill menu, see what we've unlocked. I'm sure there's a lot of XP sitting around because we're just kind of running through. Here we go. Here's all the XP. Let's go ahead and see what we got. Level up. We got Fiery Shield, Expansive, increase your area modifier by an additional 5%. I'm gonna go ahead and do that one. I don't like any of the skills because I want to stay with the ones we have, so we'll go ahead and go for more passive. I don't mind moving slower. Bloodlust is always good. You have critical strikes that have a 50% chance of applying bleed to a target. I am down for making things bleed. And, Arcane Disc. Hurls an arcane disc that is bound to you in the target direction, causing 742 damage and applying exposed to target's hit. As much as I said that I was enjoying the debuffs, we're going to swap that out, and the only reason why I decided to do this is there are other methods. Yeah, that's a lot of levels. There are other methods to get stuff on stuff. Your criticals have a 100% chance of applying wound to the target. See, even our attacks, you can eventually get them to modify and put weaknesses on enemies for you. So let's re-roll there, see if we can get anything else. Multicast, that's amazing. Let's see, now our attacks do doom as well. Modifier of 15%, that's pretty beefy. And now, we'll rake in some more level stuff. There we go. I can tell we're definitely moving slower, but honestly, things are dying fairly fast. I don't think it's going to be that big of a problem. The moment I start taking a hit, we'll start worrying a little bit about maybe getting our movement back up. But hopefully we can, you know, survive for a little bit longer. Our number of dashes is definitely helping us. These dashes come off the cooldown fairly quickly. You get to know how many dashes you have by looking underneath your character. It also shows you the cooldown as to when they come back up. Looks like we have our next war out. These spiders are definitely slowing us down. That's what I can tell you for certain. Get closer to the boss here. You can wait till the last moment for a lot of the stuff as far as hitting the bosses go, because they do have giant queues for everything. As you can tell right there, swing and then dodge and you miss. Getting hit all together. So we mostly have this lord down, so good on us. And that lord is down. We'll go ahead and collect that level up. Now we're back up to 12 levels that we can spend on everything. Alright, let's see what we got here. Don't like giving anything to stuff. We're going to go with crit chance, because crit chance is always nice. Now we have the ability to cause things to poison as well whenever we make it bleed. As we know, we now have the ability to make bleed. Frailty is considered possibly be one of the best skills in the game, from my understanding. So we're going to go ahead and go with Frailty. Do some Merciless. Arcane Missile. All your attacks have a 30% chance of applying poison to the target. We're going to go ahead and take that one. Damage increase. Increase your damage modifier of your skills of area type by an additional 40%. And that goes for Arcane Explosion and Bloodlust. Or increase the multi-cast chance of Arcane Missile by an additional 60%. Now, I would normally go for the Epic Power because it affects two different skills here. But honestly, this is a legendary one. Multicast on Arcane Missile, which is already doing exposed. I think we're going to go with that one. Some more crit chance. Arcane Sparks, just increasing the damage of our arcane stuff. Now we can also burn targets. Excellent. Do some move speed. Potency of Bloodlust. I think we're going to be doing a lot of damage here soon. Now you can see above all the enemies' health, they're literally stacking up debuffs. This is what I'm talking about. If this is a game where you want to put debuffs on target, this is the one. We can literally just dance around all these fools. Schooling them. Getting them sick. Passing them mono. Don't kiss them. I wouldn't suggest it at all. Oh man, this is probably already one of my favorite type of games in this genre right here. Like if you want a power fantasy game, this is it. other games like this type, like Vampire Survivor, you kind of have to work for it, which I'm completely okay with working for it. But even when you're working for it in this game, you were straight just dumpstering all over the enemies. They're already throwing 30, 40, 50 enemies at you on screen at one time. You're like, hey man, get in this dumpster, that's what you're doing. Alright, we are at 8 minutes already into the game. We have 2 of the 5 lords dead. There's no way we're making that 12-minute mark. Let's just go ahead and put that out there for the room. I wasn't expecting that. This is my first time playing the game since its actual early access release, other than playing the prologue. But I gotta say, altogether, this is still pretty good. The arcane spells. I saw a similar video from another YouTuber who was posting footage of himself playing this game. And he was doing like a Kamehameha build where he had several beam attacks going at one time. It looked pretty incredible. Definitely something I want to try in the future. I didn't even know the sword was out. Holy shit. That could have been bad. But it wasn't. We were awesome. That's a lot of red stuff on the ground. Oh, no, we're stuck. Whoa, that could have been bad. I'm not gonna lie. I'm looking at my audio here and I'm feeling like I'm definitely getting overwritten by a lot of sound effects and whatnot. Let's see if we can cut down on the audio just a bit. That's... Nope. Oh, there we go. Let's try it. Let's turn the SFX down just a bit. Everything else seems pretty fine, I think. Is that better? It looks like it's slightly better. Hopefully everybody can still hear the effects going off. If that's your thing, you want to hear all those meaty, crunchy noises of beams and discs and space aids going off on the enemies. I didn't get in nearly as many points as whenever we killed that Ice Lord. That's actually one of the only... Oh, actually, the First Lord is the first one I haven't seen so far. He's a new one in the game for me. It's been the Ice Lord and the Plague Lord. And I don't know if that guy was Lord. Lord of Dying is what he is right now. Look at all those numbers. If you like numbers, if you're a math guy, get in here. This is your thing. After we get done with this gameplay, after we get done with this particular match, after we kill the Lord, we'll go through the options and see about what it takes to unlock the other characters. I do know that the Huntress was ready to unlock, but in order to do so, I needed 3 green crystals, which is something you would get from another level, which I am not on currently, but we will. We will get there. Kathas, the prophetess? Alright then. Oh shit. Oh, cut my life literally in half. That wasn't good at all. Let's go ahead and see if we can find ourselves a health crystal. I didn't like having my health cut in half. I'll be honest, maybe I thought there was going to be a little bit more wind-up to it, because that sure as hell didn't have a lot of wind-up in it. Alright, this seems to be like a lightning lord, because that Kamehameha hit really hard, and we saw lightning effects. I don't see any. Nope. I don't see any healing crystals. Let's level up a little bit. Let's get our health up a bit. I'm gonna re-roll that one. Let's do that. We'll do some block power. Magic missiles, brittle. Let's take that. We will use... Oh, so arcane missiles doesn't even do an effect. Well, that's kind of terrible, actually. I'm not really sure if I'm getting my worth out of Arcane Explosion. Thinking maybe we replace Arcane Explosion. I do like Bloodlust. Or Arcane Disc. Let's see. Exposed. Arcane Beam doesn't really do much. I'm gonna be honest. I kind of like Arcane Beam though. I'm gonna go Arcane Explosion. multi-cast on the disc, so we have that one. Duration by 45% on Bloodlust. I am down for that. Looks like area effect, and that is affecting a lot of spells, so we're going to go with that one. Increased health, damage modifier, magic missile, and potency of Bloodlust. We're going to go with that one as well. Oh man, magic missile. Ow! Oh, I thought that was her for a second. I was trying to figure out how she teleported so quickly. Oh, we killed it. Just that fast. Alright. Now let's see if we can get some health somewhere. Look at all of those debuffs. Juicy, juicy debuffs. I'm kind of weirded out. Usually there's some sort of indicator for health some nearby, and I am not seeing any of those indicators. Oh shit. Ooh, that could have been dangerous. We had an exploder running at us. I guess we must have hit a health crystal at some point, because I got some of my health back. This is mostly a game of like learning to dance around the targets, and to be fair, we're pretty good at dancing. We're doing what they consider to be the cha-cha. So far, so good. Looks like we're coming up on our 6th Lord fairly soon. We're still a little bit health deprived. But all things considered, I think we're going to do, hopefully, fairly well against them. If I could find another health crystal, I'll feel better about it. Maybe if we come up to the top up here, we might be able to find something. No? Nothing? Alright then. Stingy with the help. Oh, hello. Hey! Hey, for the fallen king. Oh, he's died. He did. I think he might be dead. And that's the game. He just kind of walked to death, didn't he? Alright. There we go. We completed it at 15 minutes, 14 seconds. Definitely not the 12 minutes we were aiming for, but not something we assumed we were going to get anyways. We earned a couple levels with the Arcane Weaver. With the Arcane Staff specifically. It looks like we have a whole bunch of new records because, of course, this is the first time we've actually played this. And it looks like we collected a couple of the Soulstones that we needed to make the Infinity Gauntlet. Because that's the thing. Arcane Missiles. We really didn't have Arcane Missiles that long. Oh no, sorry. We had Arcane Missiles the game. Magic Missiles is the one we got at the end of the game. But Arcane Missiles doing a majority of the work. Looks like Arcane Explosion, I was right about that, really wasn't doing a lot. Arcane Discs was okay. Arcane Sparks. Altogether, the Arcane stuff was panning out pretty well. Okay. So now that we've completed a couple challenges, we're going to go in real quick and check out the selection of what it takes. So in order to unlock classes, it looks like you have to complete a series of achievements or objectives for each of them. For this one, complete 100% of a total of 5 maps. Complete Endless Cycle 2, don't know what that means. Win a match with all curses up to including Tier 4 enabled on the Whispering Grove. Eliminate a total of 100 Lords of the Void, so that's going to take a couple of runs at least. complete a match in less than 10 minutes. Wow, that's gotta be pretty difficult. We have a gladiator here, complete endless cycle 3. Then we also have win a match with all curses up to and including tier 3 enabled on the Dungeon of Despair. And then the final one, win a match with all curses up to and including tier 5 enabled on the Frozen Wasteland. Okay, so those are your classes that we have available to us currently. So there's that. So now, if you kind of want to know how you unlock the classes, there you go. In this case, I do now have the option to unlock the Sentinel if I so choose. But before we do anything as far as buying or anything that sort, I'll go through the menus a little bit and showcase a little bit of the stuff that we have in the game if you so are interested or want to know more about it. So if we go over to our blacksmith, we can choose our character. See, what's recipes? Okay, so recipes is pretty much what they're, you know, what you need in order to unlock the next skill. In this instance, the Arcane Weaver starts out with the ability to do arcane missiles. If I wanted to create the alternate weapon for this one, I would need to have 2 of those crystals there you see at the bottom of the screen, as well as 600 of those yellow crystals and 4 of the rubies, which we have 6 of. If we were able to craft this, we would be able to equip the Arcane Weaver with that, and we would then have access to the Fiery Missiles version instead of the Arcane Missiles that we get at the start. So there's that. Here's also the series of runes that I was talking about. This is the sort of thing, it tells you exactly what you need to do for reaching prestige with a specific character, which is, I guess there's a max level 30. You also have complete a match in less than 12 minutes with a specific character, eliminate a total of 3,000 elite monsters. You get the idea. These are definitely things that you're going to be working to over time. They don't really say what they do. I assume that's only going to be found out if or whenever you complete the objectives. And then here's our skill tree. This is what you're going to be spending your, basic blue crystals on. You see in the top left corner it says I have 23,000. It kept some of my progress from the beta or the prologue. So I've spent a lot of points already in damage modifiers and number of dashes and stuff like that. These things do go up in cost, and after you've reached a certain threshold with these points, you're then required to spend the infinity shards. I'm going to call them infinity shards because they're literally the infinity stone colors. You'll spend those stones in order to reach the higher tiers of these things to be maxed out. I'm going to take a drink. I'll be right back. Give me a second. Alright, so that being said, I'm trying to think if there's anything that I want to buy immediately that I feel like we need. Any attack that would kill you restores your health to 50% instead. So we have basically a rebirth. What is this? Increase the runic power of all your characters by 1. This is permanent. Runic power. Don't know if I'm familiar with runic power. Well, I guess that's something we're going to find out in the future. Increase your critical damage chance by an additional 2%. 2 health points every time you level up. Allows you to banish a power up. Okay, so I don't really want to spend the points on that, plus we don't have them. We got XP modifier. Increase the amount of minor soulstones you earn by 30%. Let's go ahead and do that. Increase the pickup range modifier by an additional 120%. To be honest, I'm a sucker for being able to pick up things at a distance. It means it's less magnet we have to take during our gameplay. Alright. So now that we've done that, we'll go ahead and unlock the Sentinel. So now we have access to the Sentinel. And the Sentinel comes with the Huntress Bow. Fires 3 arrows in the direction that you're aiming at, dealing 50 damage to all enemies and applying Fragility. Fragility increases all damage received by 3% for 6 seconds. It's got a 1-second cooldown, so that's your default attack right there. So that goes along with the Barbarian, the Pyromancer, the Houndmaster, the Spellblade, which I have not yet played. And now we've just played the Arcane Weaver and the... Now we have one more game to play between the Spellblade and the Sentinel. But I am going to go ahead and end this episode from my YouTube viewers. So if you like the content, you want to see more of it, feel free to like and subscribe to the channel where I'll be posting more of Soulstone Survivors in the future. I've also got Mario plus Rabbids over on my channel, Sparks of Hope, if you're interested in that. And starting this week into next week, or sorry, end of this week, starting into next week, we'll also be putting a lot of God of War Ragnarok on the channel. And for those of you who are over at twitch.tv/SharkinbearTV, if you're interested in that sort of thing, feel free to come over to YouTube and support me by following my page, liking, subscribing, all that sort of jazz. If you want to follow more of that content, I make it more bite-sized chunk, about 30 minutes a piece. For those episodes, I try not to go longer than an hour. Sometimes it happens, but it really helps me out trying to grow my audience over there as well. So those are you YouTube, you guys take care, and I will see you all in the next video.